Hello, good morning. I
Good
guess I'm not
morning.
saying that. It's not technically morning anymore. It's an afternoon.
Well, especially on maybe at noon we could have been on the cusp, but with these 12:03 go times, we're decidedly in the PM.
These go times.
It's like,
How are you doing? You're still in Home Depot, home improvement land.
I mean, I'm doing good. My TaskRabbit painter Jen is so amazing. She's in the room, so I'm partly saying that for her benefit. But she's amazing. I just solved this problem this morning that basically my oven stove range unit thing
Yeah.
is in the former site of 100 years ago. It was a fireplace, but
Yeah.
and it takes up way too much real estate than it deserves. It's so small to dominate that area, and I don't have that much kitchen real estate to play with, especially now that I'm moving in a dining table for 14. But she was like, oh, we can just move the oven over because it has a long gas pipe or whatever, gas tube. So, that just solved all these problems. So it's just been there's been all these just little rays of sunshine. I mean, everything that's painted looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that it looks like today, even though I thought drywall was squarely in my past, it looks like today I'm gonna need more drywall in the living room, and it just it's really, really, really heavy, and you can't take an Uber. You have to get a man with a van, which is a whole parking lot negotiation, and then you have to prevail on that person's kindness to help get it up the stairs, where it is so fucking heavy. It is so outside the realm of the physical labor that I feel I was put on this earth to do.
Well,
and,
so bulky too. How do you get your arms around that?
Yeah. And and then I just am in total my worst triggered anxiety that my landlady's gonna come screaming at me because in all fairness, it's not really that kosher to just put up walls. Although the other fact is that I'm fixing her crumbling apartment, but
Yeah.
it's just a little bit provocative for her as opposed to and a bag from the bodega. She doesn't really pay attention to me coming in and out. For anyone that doesn't know, I basically live in the white 227. It's just my landlady is just at the window, just watching what goes on all day long on the stoop.
What's her name? I like her. I've met her.
I feel if I say it out loud, she'll appear.
Okay, don't say it. It's like Beetlejuice. Well, the good news.
We roll our credits.
Yeah.
We have to roll the credits. You let me talk so long.
Well, that was the intro. The good news is we're here together. We're here with the listeners, the viewers, and we are here for another episode of what's it called? Next Year, Some Year.
Yeah.
Autumn, winter, next year, some
Time heals everything. It's a song. And time heals everything.
I mean, how could I feel anything but joy when Patty's belting a beef?
Something like that. I still never expected. It still gets me, and I made it
natural.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so speaking of Patricia Lupone, it is time for a new segment. Our first time doing it on the pod, on the stream, and the name is inspired by Patty herself. So we're gonna do that in just a second. Well, wait, oh yeah, here we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's my first time hearing that intro, and that is so hilarious. And I'm sure that everyone watching knows. Is anyone watching? We don't have any comments.
No comments, but there are watchers, there are viewers.
Awesome. Caroline, where are you? Taryn, let's go. But anyway, I'm sure the fans know, but that is Patty hootin' and hollerin' from Les Mouches. She's one of the few performers who hoots and hollers at her own shows.
She's having just as much fun as the audience. So Appreciation Station, also worth mentioning, one of my favorite times being with Patty was when I was with you and we went backstage and saw her after Company. And she West End. And just like you couldn't ask for better Patty moments, she said, Ben, come over and appreciate these dolls. And she had all those Patty LuPone dolls like lined up above her dressing table mirror, just like perfected. Like you couldn't ask for a better moment.
It meant so much to me because I feel like for so many years, you'd be like, oh my God, Patty, that remix. And she'd be like, well, there's a problem in the theater today, you know? And now she's like leaning into the meme a little bit and I love it.
So anyway, this segment is Appreciation Station, where we give a shout out to someone who has brought us strength or someone who has, you know, done the good work, and we're admiring them. We're paying them their respects and saying thank you. So let's do yours first. I don't know what this is. Do you want to give it a little intro before?
Sure, I think I should. This is the recently departed late, great Anne Crum, the original star of Broadway and West End Aspects of Love, and a Tony nominee for the flop musical Anna Karenina, which I think is most noteworthy in that it, in Forbidden Broadway, the spoof of it was to the tune of the Judy Garland song from the Harvey Girls on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Mm-hmm. And they were like, do you hear that train come round the bend? It means the tale of Anna is about to end. She'll be ground into a bloody mess on the Ashgabat, Tbilisi, and Kiev Express.
That's so brilliant. And it's also very admirable that you remember all those lyrics. That's hard.
I know, right? I could even do more. That song is so great. But anyway, this is Anne Crum, who died, I think, last year or the year before of cancer. Such a sad loss. And this is her from the American Musical Theater of San Jose, formerly known as San Jose Civic Light Opera in San Jose, California, and in the peninsula, you know, Silicon Valley, starring as Aldonza in Man of La Mancha. And I just discovered this treasure trove through my Evita journey of the American Musical Theater of San Jose has thousands. It has many full pro shot, not with like close-up. Oh yeah, with close-ups, pro shot, good quality videos of their productions on YouTube. Now that I'm saying it, they'll probably all be taken down. So watch them fast. And Anne Crum starred in a bunch of shows there in the 90s. I did also find her chess, which me and my best friend Marissa have now pieced together. She had seen her do it when we were in high school and then told me about it to my jealousy in college. But her chess isn't that good. I mean, you know, who can sing like Judy Kuhn? But her Aldonza I stumbled upon, and I just happened to stumble upon her singing this song, which then I went through and watched all her songs to see if it was the right one to share. But it really was. It's so beautiful. Anyway, let's play it.
Here we go. Hit the track.
Why does he say the things he says? Why does he say these things? Sweet Dulcinea and missive and such, nethermost hem of thy garment I touch. No one can be what he wants me to be. And what does he want of me? What does he want of me? Doesn't he know he'll be laughed at wherever he goes? And why I'm not laughing myself, I don't know. Why does he want the things he wants? Why does he want these things? Why does he batter at walls that won't break? Why does he give when it's natural to take? Where does he see all the good he can see? And what does he want of me? What does he want?
Wow, what a voice.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I love that.
I think she has one of my favorite mixes. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I always think of Aldonza as being tricky because you have to sing soprano, but you also really want to belt. And what was so cool about the original star, Joan Diener, how do you say her name? Joan Diener, was that she had such like a gutsy, like kind of nasty, stanky belt. And then she had these like real, like legitimate soprano notes, which weren't the most beautiful, but they just like, hi, Sarah.
Sarah.
But this is, you know, and Anne has a real strength. I mean, you know, and there's a reason she did all those roles like Chess and everything. And of course, you know, she is a belter in a sense, you know, but she's also a soprano, which is why Angela Weber loved her in Aspects of Love. And because, you know, that was the part he wrote for Sarah Brightman, and she has to sing like crazy, you know, opera high notes.
Yeah.
But this song, because it's the ballad, and Joan Diener didn't have that beautiful of a voice, you know, it's a little bit just kind of like that kind of ugly old school soprano-y, I feel like normally when you hear it, you know. Or if they usually, I feel like they cast belters as Aldonza and skimp on this, and then this song is just like a little taxing for them.
Yeah.
But she sings it in that very breathy, smoky, poppy kind of mix lower voice that she has that's sort of seamless into this like chest resonance, but then she just is really open and gorgeous. And I don't know, it just really struck me, and I've listened to it I guess like 4 or 5 times, and I'm just loving it.
Yeah, it is. It's very like effortless, and she sounds like, you know, very warmed up, very trained. Like it's a very there's no break. You know, like you're saying, there's no break between like the chest voice and the head voice. It's all just like one like.
Yeah.
So, hey, Danny.
Hi. Danny, friend of the pod, Danny Codmer out in Berkeley, California, or El Cerrito, I think. He has probably seen shows at American Musical Theater of San Jose. Maybe he will let us know.
Now everything you say, I'm thinking of the Atchison in Topeka. So I'm like, Atchison, Topeka, and the San Jose.
American Musical Theater of San Jose.
Copyright Broken Records.
There she is, Taryn. I just felt about you,
Taryn. I feel so classy when she puts a U in favorites.
I know, me too. I think I recently was writing something and I stole it, and now I can't remember what it was.
Well, speaking of classy ladies,
yes.
My appreciation station today is about a lady. Has to do with a lady that I have been taking a journey with, literally and figuratively, this past week, Ms. Joanna Lumley. A dame? I don't know if she's a dame, but she should be if not.
She's at least like OBE.
Yeah. Totally that. So, you know, I've heard always, you know, that she does these little travel documentaries, and she's very passionate about travel and, visiting places and making shows about them, or programs, as she says. And of course, I love AbFab, and I love her as Patsy. But of course, I never watched these. So on YouTube the other day, it just was like recommended Joanna Lumley's Nile. And I was like, ooh, this sounds like something I would be interested in, you know, while I'm eating my cereal at, 11:30 a.m. after waking up. So I start taking the journey. First episode is like, 45 minutes. I sit there, I watch all the Nile, 4 more episodes. And then I sit and watch her Greek Odyssey. I watch the Northern Lights trip. I watch her in Japan. And there's a ton of others that I can't find anywhere. They're not on YouTube. They're not online anywhere. And it's like one of those things where even the DVDs are saying like, if you buy the DVDs, they like won't play in American DVD players, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, if you all are out there and you happen to have Joanna Lumley's Silk Road tour, or Joanna Lumley, there's a few others that she does, like, what's one she does that I really want to see? Silk Road. And then there's one other that I haven't been able to get my hands on. But anyway, so this one is from Joanna Lumley's Nile, which is my very favorite, not only because I find that area fascinating, but because there's just like huge drawn out segments and scenes in like various airplanes and boats and like cruise ships and passenger trains. And it's just really, really fascinating and comforting for me to see Joanna aboard those things. So anyway, in this scene, this is on the riverboat going down the Nile. And she's trying to find an outfit to wear for the evening.
I think that's lovely. Oh, okay. Oh, show me how. Hang on. Well, this is suspiciously like a bathing hat. I love it. I love it on other people, but somehow this is the look that terrified me most of all as a young person. In fact, when I was a model, the things... Oh, what's that? That's nicer. When I was a model, the things I really dreaded wearing were berets. I used to try to get out of the beret shots. I like a bit of a... But maybe I'm coming round to it. What do you think? Bit bathing hat again, but there we are. We might get something might... It's sort of something to do with having a huge face and a huge mouth. I've got to have help. You've got to tell me. I think this one might be nicer. I think this is better. Huh?
Yeah.
It's better for me?
This one's...
Oh my God.
Like, it's just like scenes of her, like, you know, aboard this like old rickety like passenger ship, and she goes into the bathroom to like brush her teeth with her bottle of water, and she's like, all she wants to do is like scrub everything down with Lysol. And I mean, it's just like, I could watch her like read the phone book, you know, go get her teeth cleaned, you know, go shopping. It's just, there's something about her that's she's so classy, but she's also very dry, and you know, a little bit of Patsy, but she's very sweet and down to earth, and like she just knows what to say to like anybody around the world to make them feel comfortable and to endear them to her and like the program that they're making. So yeah, I'm just like really obsessed with her. And I
spread the word. I mean, people are watching Zac Efron when they could be watching this.
Yeah, come on, people.
I mean, look how she pronounces the word beret. That alone should get everybody on board.
I mean, I wish I could do a whole nother segment just on her pronunciation of certain words. But Tara knows what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, that's the other one, India. That's the one I'm dying to see. Please, if you have it, I would love to see.
Have you looked on Daily Motion?
Yes, they have. I think they have the Japan one, but that's it. But the Nile one is my favorite. I've literally watched it twice, and then like I sometimes just turn it on when I'm going to sleep and like fall asleep to it. And it's just wonderful. So thank you, Joanna. I appreciate you.
Speaking of great ladies of a certain age that we appreciate, Danny Codmer responded that the one show he saw at American Musical Theater of San Jose, he says, with false humility, only Follies with Gretchen Weiler. Oh my God.
Oh.
Do you know who Gretchen Weiler is?
No, I don't.
You have her in some of the appreciations or something. She was, I think, Gwen Burden's either understudy or in Sweet Charity, or she replaced Cheetah in Bye Bye Birdie. And then she basically spent, I think, most of her career playing Vera Charles in various productions. Like, I'm sure she's done it with like Sally Struthers and Bonnie Franklin, you know.
Yeah.
But she's fabulous. You'll love her.
Gretchen Weiler. I was like, is that one of the girls from Mean Girls? But no, that's Gretchen Wiener.
Gretchen Weiler is a better name.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so now we're going to our next new segment, which we started out trying to do last time. We're workshopping it still, so like, you know, hang with us. Here we go.
You really sing out. You really build a song. There are very few of us left.
Okay, so I have different tracks, if you will, queued up, ready to go. We're gonna try this. They're all on my computer. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, and then if you know it, say it, and if not, I'll give you a little bit more. Here we go, first one.
rang a lot of bells.
Yeah.
Wait, I was a little distracted. Can we hear it again?
Yeah.
Wait, can I hear the first one again?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's exactly what you can't do, right? Like, wasn't there 2 notes in the first one?
Yeah, I'm trying to cue back to where it was. I don't know.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, well, somebody knows it. Mitch Strong says it's Linda Eder. Mitch!
Oh, no.
Joseph says I think they beat me. Hi, Drew. Oh, my God. It's another old Bay Area friend, although Drew lives in, he lives in the Bay Area.
Mitch, you're very, very close, though. Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit more.
Because, wait, can I just say, I definitely feel it's what it is. Am I right in guessing that it's a clip I listen to often or, like, know very well?
You know it very well, yeah. I don't know if you listen to it now,
Is
but
it Patty?
no. I'm gonna back it up a little bit and give you some more.
Yes, it's Barbara, my man, and
Yeah.
the quality. I'm guessing is it maybe like the closing night of Funny Girl?
No, it's live. I think it's
Not from the Forum, right?
No, it's from one of those,
right?
from one of the TV specials.
Oh, okay. Oh, like Color Me Barbara or something.
Yeah.
I mean, God, that's so amazing when she's like, forever.
Again, this is like, for me, it's like the greatest belt note of all time.
I feel Okay, truth moment.
Now we get, as we get blocked from Facebook.
Yeah, never share Barbara. Do you like when she didn't do it here, but I think I've heard her do it in this song, but she does it in a lot of songs when she'll be like, I think that she definitely does it on a clear day, you know, like, see forever and ever and ever more. Do you like that? There's always like a boom, 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 boom.
I don't know. That gets into territory where I don't like Barbara as much because she starts being a little like ooh ah. Like she starts like being a little riffy, and I don't really like.
Yeah. I don't like when she tries to be riffy, like as Seth Rudetsky would say in her cool pop voice.
Yeah.
You like when she goes for like vulgar pop Liza Shirley Bassey-esque moments. And I feel like this might be a more along the lines of like vulgar rather than like cool. So I do like Barbara doing anything to be more vulgar.
Yeah, and that's like a lot of early Barbara, like, you know,
for sure.
We're here again where she takes like the crazy up note that's like breaking voice.
The only thing vulgar about Barbara nowadays is her politics.
Yeah, her taste.
That's just piss poor.
Yeah, that's just that piss poor. Okay, so speaking of piss poor, no, I'm just kidding. Speaking of high belting again, here's your next one. I have one more for you.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit of a detour, but here we go.
Wow. Okay, just one more time, same thing.
I agree with you, Sarah. Okay, wait, I gotta find it again.
I mean, does anybody prefer like older Barbara?
Certainly not older. I mean, I feel like there's some people who prefer like
70s pop Barbara when she was like in her early 30s.
Or like, you know, Star is Born, like evergreen Barbara.
That's what I'm talking about.
Or Broadway album Barbara, yeah.
Is anyone's... Wait, Sarah, are you saying your favorite is the Broadway album? No.
I think she's saying she prefers Barbara up to the Broadway album.
Yes. Well, that's definitely like a certain September 11th kind of cutoff in the history of Barbara Streisand.
Barbara is riding with Biden.
No, Sydney Jones, we are with Barbara and we are with Biden. We just didn't like some of Barbara's tastes in primary choices, but we are all together now.
Also, you added that extra A, Sydney. Okay, so here is the next one.
That is like me level bitchy to like correct the spelling in the comments.
Listen, if I didn't do it, Barbara would do it. So, all right. So here's that one again.
Wait, I can't.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go further back.
For a second, I was almost like, is that Betty Buckley? But at first, I thought it was someone black. Like I was like, is that like Melba Moore?
It's quite the opposite. Okay, let me go back a little.
Jonathan Groff.
Wait, what?
That was the wrong joke. I shouldn't have said Jonathan Groff. I should have said like.
No, but it's like the female. Who's the female version of Jonathan Groff?
Oh God, is it Sutton Foster?
Yes.
You know, the funny thing is, the first thing I thought when I first heard it was Sutton Foster, and then as I tried to put that thought out of my mind.
Yeah, that's what happens with Sutton. You always guess for someone else first.
Well, you said speaking of vulgar.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so that has been
no shade. Sutton's vulgarity is my favorite quality about her.
Totally, and I mean, girl can belt like no other. So.
What song is that?
Oklahoma.
Like you do.
Okay, so let me get my little list together again. Okay, so now we have another new segment. Someone who does not make vulgar choices. Well, not usually. Ms. Bernadette Peters, our new segment, What Would Bernadette Do?
Anything you could do, I could do better.
What Would Bernadette Do? Our new segment. I actually don't mind Higher Ground either.
Sydney Jones, I have a question for you about Higher Ground. You know the song she sings on that album, which was written by Anne Hampton Callaway at the same time? Actually, it's a question for you too, Dee Dee. Have you, Sydney and Daniel, and anyone else, heard the first person who performed that song publicly, the performance by Miss Patricia Lupone?
What song is it?
At the Same Time.
At the Same Time. I don't remember that one. I haven't listened
I
to
mean, all tea, all shade. It's not that memorable on that album because every song on that album sounds the same. But it's like, think of all the hearts beating in the world at the same time.
Yeah, I do like that song.
Although it's one of Patty's worst dictions ever. You know what? That's going to be a Who Do You Think You Are? Because there's definitely a point where it sounds like she's going, think of all the light in the kitchens around the world. And I don't think that's what the lyric is. Anyway.
That's what you need to be singing right now.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I just remember like the summer before I moved to New York was when I really took my first deep dive with Barbara. And I just remember finding Higher Ground on CD at Half Price Books. So I bought it and I would just listen to it driving around in my parents' Suburban that summer. As you do with my Sonic coat.
These people.
Okay, so our segment, What Would Bernadette Do?
Yes.
In this segment, each week we're going to choose a new diva to build this around. But
with many returns to Bernadette periodically.
Many returns to Miss Bernadette. Throw up a photo. There she is.
Yeah,
looking fabulous.
Is that our first photo?
Maybe. I mean, it's kind of the same as like, it's like all like they call them like overlays. So it's all in the same like category as like the videos and stuff. But
yeah, but I don't think we've ever thrown a photo before.
We can throw photos, we'll stay here, throw all night.
Bless you, dear people. I wish that you could be on stage with me and I could be out there throwing photos with all of you.
That would be a good
Who am I?
Would be like just Judy, like Judy at Carnegie Hall, but like millennial.
Who do I do when I do Judy?
Your Judy is a little Alan Rickman. Which, if you think about it, like Alan Rickman is very Judy. Like he's like an old British Judy.
Aren't we all?
Okay, so in this segment, What Would Bernadette Do? We have a diva again, Bernadette, and we say, you guys, the viewers, chime in the comments, give us certain scenarios. You know, it could be meeting Patty in the dressing room. It could be anything. It could be whatever you
tire.
Yeah, having a flat tire. And we tell you our take on what these ladies would do in these given situations.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for comments, what do you think Bernadette would do with a flat tire? If she was driving by herself and had a flat tire, which would probably never happen, but.
Well, I would pull over, of course, and does the car? I have AAA. It's in Patty's purse, but I think you can just give your name, and it's Bernadette Lazara, actually.
Lazara.
My birth name is on my AAA and my ID.
Oh my God! Can you imagine going as a AAA worker, going to help someone on the side of the road, and it being Bernadette Peters?
Is that why Sarah said she's going to join the Mile High Club?
Oh, okay.
Are you seeing like a porn intro where the AAA guy like pulls up with his like, you know, big like hulking muscles? I'm so glad that comment covered my Ethel Merman arms. And Bernadette's there just like in some jeans and like a white V-neck tee like on the side of the road in her like Prius. No, she doesn't drive. What does she have? Like she is like
But no, I feel like it is something like a Subaru or something. I feel like it's something that's like foreign, like environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
That is true. She would probably just like sing into the woods and all the dogs would come out and help her. Okay, so if Bernadette was on a flight,
yes,
and she went to join the Mile High Club, I'm just trying to think how that would happen. I feel like, I mean, I don't know how much we should say.
I really don't even think Bernadette uses the bathroom on a flight.
I don't
Singapore Air where it's like a like special suite.
Yeah.
She's like, all I've had to drink this week was half a Perrier on Thursday. It's only an 8-hour flight. What are you people?
She's like, I haven't peed since last week. I think Bernadette, maybe back in the day, like with Steve Martin, I could see her being
I thought that too. I did think Steve.
You know, on a flight from California, like they maybe smoked a doobie on the way, and Steve's like, you know, Bernadette, let's be bad, let's sneak off to the bathroom, and Bernadette's just being like, whatever, as long as I just have to stand there. It's very a log thrown on the fire, two profiles meet as one. Like that's the Bernadette I think that would, you know, Making Love Alone Bernadette. That's the Bernadette I think would be a little feisty and like willing to experiment on.
I don't know if this is like misogynist of me, but I just realized that all the decades that I've known her singing that song, Making Love Alone, which is about masturbation, I have never for once believed that she masturbates.
Yes, this is an interesting territory we're getting into, but I don't know. If you're just tuning in now, we are talking about whether or not I think Bernadette Peters masturbates. Okay, here's another good question. Do you think she flies private? I do not, but
not on her own dime.
No, but I do think she goes to the left, you know, whenever she gets on international.
Yeah.
Always
flown economy since the 80s, and that was only on like, you know, LA to San Francisco kind of shuttle flights.
Right. Meeting Lady Gaga, do you think I think she knows who Lady Gaga is, but I don't think she could tell you a single song.
Oh, no, for sure.
Gaga has sung. I think
you just never know. Bernadette could be like, well, what was that album? They play it all the time at the Reebok Sports Club in Columbus Center.
She's like, the song Let's Dance? Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I liked your Bernadette just there.
My Bernadette, which I've been working on for years, and I still like it, right? It's very like she has a throatiness to it.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
It's like very you know,
it's a little peanut butter.
It's a little Gollum-y. It's like, oh, you know, which I do a really good Gollum, by the way. Bernadette,
False.
wicking through the woods. What's that? Wicking?
And Mandy on a flight finishing that. You guys, if there's any former Broadway co-star that Mandy Patinkin would be on a flight with, it would be Patty Ann.
Totally. It's interesting. Who do you think Mandy likes more, Bernadette or Patty?
Oh, everybody likes Patty better.
Yeah, it's true.
The only people that like Bernadette more are ticket buyers.
Producers.
I mean, interpersonally, as Patty would say, I imagine, she's a cold girl. She's always been cold.
Yeah. What would Patty say about Bernadette? Well, that could be it, what she would say. Well, okay, here we go.
Would she help you clean up the mess in your apartment? Yeah, maybe. Circumstance. I think she'd take one look at mine and leave, but you know, a small mess.
Yeah, I think Bernadette's very
I think Patty more so though. You know, Patty's got that kind of like Sicilian fishwife quality.
Yeah, Patty's like willing to like, but she puts in a little elbow grease. I feel like Bernadette,
Patty would just like, you know, like put on like her Eton dress and like wash your dishes, you know.
Her Eton dress, aka that like bowling shirt she puts on.
A bowling shirt that says like David on it.
Bernadette being asked to reprise her vocal role as Rita on the. I do not know this, but Bernadette as the voice for anything I am here for. That's my favorite thing when divas do voices for TV shows. Like B. Arthur doing Futurama, I believe, is like fabulous. Or like
yeah.
doing Rugrats. Like, it's my favorite thing.
Well, and Patty's now been big on that Steven Universe show they like. But the Animaniacs thing, I remember that. That was when I was in college, and I didn't watch it. But I remember it was like a big thing that people like cared about her on that. Like that was like at the time, I think it was maybe more rare that they got Broadway talent for that kind of a thing in days.
And they really should do that more. I mean,
they do it a lot now. Like even the girl that Patty sings a duet with on one of the Steven Universe things is like was in Miss Saigon. It's like I feel like it's much more common now.
Like I love a character voice, and nowadays they get like, you know, Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, that's that voice. We don't need to hear that voice out of someone other than Jennifer Aniston. Okay, putting together IKEA furniture. This is another thing that could help you out right now. Like, do you think if she came over to your house, she would even know how to put together IKEA furniture or understand that concept at all?
Well, she wouldn't, but I can tell you who absolutely for sure would.
Totally.
And I don't mean Lupone. That's Patty Sacenti,
Yeah.
who is Bernadette's longtime assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And she is, I just know, very handy.
Very handy. And also looks kind of like Patti LuPone. Remember that picture Bernadette posted on Instagram a few?
No, that's not Patty Sacenti. That's Patty somebody else who is like best friends with Joan Rivers, who's like a New York society lady. I forget that woman's last name. I think it's something Jewish.
Oh my God, so many Patties. I can't.
That woman looks exactly like a more glamorous, an older Upper East Side Patti LuPone. Yeah. Patty Sacenti looks like someone that would be really good at putting IKEA together.
Yeah.
Patty would be like, only problem with IKEA is like, you know, it's not going to last. Listen, let me just go to the lumber yard.
Yeah,
I'll do this for you. It won't take me more than a couple hours, and in this way, you know, you can move it around. It's going to be a lot better for you.
Yeah, it can take a beating. It'll last you a lot longer. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, you know who else? Speaking of Joan Rivers and all of her fabulous friends,
Yeah,
that other lady who she was always on Joan and Melissa, coming over to Joan's apartment. Joan called her best friend. Her name was like Marcy or Matilda or something with an M, really weird. And she had like really long blonde bangs that like hung over into her eyes. Anyway, I see her out all the time, like at the opera, at the theater. And it's like, I know who she is because she's Joan Rivers' best friend. But like, I, you know, never remember her name. And obviously, like, I'm not going to talk to her.
This actually should be a segment, like the kind of like supporting characters or like background players in these like famous people's lives. Like the number one that I think of is Arlene Lazar. I'm sure we've talked about her. She's friends with Liza and Lorna, and I actually met her through them. But she's also friends with like Ramona Singer, and like she's like friends with Luann. She's like friends with Jim Caruso. She and her husband Alan Lazar. They were like Studio 54 like regulars and like BFFs with Liza like since those days. He had the money because he like invented some kind of a dental thing, and like Upper East Side. But like every opening night, every photo of Liza, you see, and Arlene kind of looks like Liza, but like still in like 80s glam, like anorexically Upper East Side skinny, a short little black Sally Bowles haircut, like dramatic features, like, you know, always black leather, black cashmere, black fur.
I love that. There's no one I love more. There's nothing I love seeing more than a Liza Minnelli haircut. Just like walking down the street, a lady with like a black short Liza haircut. I'm like, that should be, we should do an appreciation about that.
My Alan Cumming once said to me when we were at, I think Club Cumming, and like, it was like that weird time in New York where it's like chilly, but like not that wintry. And I was doing one of my gayest looks when I keep the like long pashmina on around my neck just as part of the outfit, you know?
I love it.
And it was all black. And no, this was at 54 Below, but still very Liza-ish. Alan said that I can't do that him as well as you can, but he said that I'm getting more and more Liza-ish every day.
I love it.
Thank you, Taryn. I appreciate it. I need to know that I'm being heard.
Okay, well, before we go to our next news segment, we do have to put out a call to arms.
Yes.
For our beloved listeners and viewers. So we have a new segment coming up called Dear Friend. And for this segment, we will take your questions. We will take, you can ask us for advice, and we will give you our advice on the air live. So I guess the best email to reach us at is our podcast email, which is brokenrecordspod@gmail.com. Is that the best one, you think?
Yeah, I was just distracted by a fly.
Yeah. Well, so
the thing is, I mean, not to workshop on air, but maybe we should do one that's just for this, because that way, like, I or you can like feed that. Like, if I was handling it, I would have like Broken Records Pod Dear Friend or something, or Broken Friend or whatever you want to call it, you know, and, broke friend, and I would have that feed directly to my regular emails, you know, on my phone, so I would always see them because there won't be that many. Whereas I wouldn't want that with the regular Broken Records thing, because that gets like weird other stuff, I'm sure.
Right. Well, so Broken Records Pod right now, that's the one that it's forwarded to us. So use that one for now, and then, you know, we'll get on Gmail and maybe we'll find a new address, see what's available. But for now, brokenrecordspod@gmail.com. Send us your questions, tell us a story, ask for advice, and we will address our favorites on the air next week in our episode, in our segment, Dear Friend. So, okay, so now another new segment, which
new segments.
Ben is going to do, called Movies or Movies.
No
Ugums. This week we are talking about Sweeney Todd.
Throw a pick. Look at you,
honey.
So this is the inspiration for my name last week, which was Helena Benham Carter, and today, which is, I must give credit. This drag name is stolen from our dear friend Ken Russell, not the filmmaker, another Upper East Side queen. And of course, it's Helena Bottled Water, which never fails.
So good.
So my Movies or Movies segment is about the movie version of Sweeney Todd, Tim Burton's 2008 movie?
7
movie?
2007, 2008.
And it gets kind of a bad rap, you know. I mean, I think of all the movie musicals of the last, the modern era that, of the millennium or whatever, I guess probably the one that is most like acclaimed is Chicago, or like unless you want to like include Moulin Rouge, or like, you know, I don't include that, or like some of the more artsy stuff, like what's the one with Bjork or whatever, you know. But I mean, that's almost, but you know, as far as like these Broadway adaptations, the one that really like made the studios have confidence in it again is Chicago. It got all the acclaim, won Best Picture. And probably like the one at the very bottom that people just take a shit on and despise all the time is like, I don't know, the one that I think is totally unwatchable is like The Producers. But
maybe liking that one,
but 9 is the one that people really hate the most. I mean, 9 is unwatchable too, but I give 9 credit because it's like really hard and ambitious, and it's just a failure. Whereas The Producers, to me, was just a demonstration of like unmitigated like whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but those are the bad ones, you know. And then there's more that in the middle that people sort of like have their opinions about, like
Into the Woods,
Dreamgirls, Into the Woods, Hairspray, you know. And oh, by the way, another one that I think is like an incredible success and underrated, although I was really happy to know that it was recently included in the Criterion collection, is Hedwig.
Oh yeah, well, Hedwig's fabulous.
And totally fabulous. Anyway, but so directed by John Cameron Mitchell, who did not direct the show. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Launched his filmmaking career. But anyway, so Sweeney Todd, I just want to say I really love this movie. Yes, it is very bothersome to me that there is a lack of vocal talent in the leads, particularly Helena Bonham Carter, who really can sing. I mean, it's like sort of okay, her level of singing for like Madame Thénardier. You know, I would rather have somebody who has a little more belt power behind the, you know, if Patty had played that part, it's like, God almighty, yeah, that's, you know, but like, you know, for Helena to have to find her way through it, fine. It's not Fontaine, it's not Eponine, we got plenty of belters, whatever. But, you know, and Johnny Depp, who I despise in Into the Woods, I
forgot he's in that.
I don't mind. Yes, it would have been, I mean, like, I wish that, you know, this Hugh Jackman would have been better as Sweeney Todd than he was as Valjean. And he would have certainly been better as Sweeney Todd than Johnny Depp was. But I enjoy Johnny's performance. And the truth is, I even enjoy Helena's performance, even though I'm really sad about not having her singing. I guess what I'm saying is, for a film, for a Tim Burton film, which this succeeds at being, I could sacrifice the sort of powerful vocals of a George Hearn or a Len Cariou in the Sweeney Todd role and be satisfied with a Johnny Depp for the movie version. But I can't be satisfied with a non-singer. I'm not saying it should have been Patty, but like, how about Toni Collette, you know?
Yeah.
She's brilliant as Princess Margaret in The Crown. I live for Helen. I'm a huge Helena Bonham Carter fan. Anyway, my point is that I actually still really like the movie of Sweeney Todd, despite this huge failing in the vocals, especially Helena's. And I really like Helena's performance. And actually, her performance is what makes me love the movie so much. Well, I love that Toby is cast as an actual child. Like, the kid they cast as Toby. Is it the same kid that plays Jack in Into the Woods and that plays, what's his face, in Les Miserables?
Oh,
Gosh. This is like Shut Up Lupone, Lupone Dolls, and Fuck Yeah Lupone. There are 5 women that manage these 3 Instagram accounts. 2 women manage each account, and at least one overlaps. I can't keep it straight. But so I believe one actor played 2 of those 3 roles. But anyway, the point is they seem interchangeable to me. And it's so wonderful to have Toby played by a kid that looks like he could be in Oliver, as opposed to like, you know, a creepy middle-aged guy, you know? And it makes it so moving because when Helena sings By the Sea, although truthfully By the Sea is a song where I don't really mind her not having a gorgeous voice, but I miss her having a powerful character belt.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, By the Sea is not a big belt number, so I don't mind her voice so much there. But what I love so much is that that song to me seems to always be about sex. I mean, Patty basically sings it as like a come on, you know. I mean, but even Angela, who's obviously the definitive Mrs. Lovett, but is the least sexy Mrs. Lovett. I mean, I think even Judy Kay had more sex in her Mrs. Lovett than Angela. And I don't say that lightly. But nonetheless, Angela still plays some sexuality in By the Sea. But Helena's, which is sexy too, is not focused on that. Helena's is completely focused on her fantasy of being a family unit with Sweeney and Gavroche and Toby. When she pictures them by the sea, they're not alone together by the sea. They have a kid. And it's so sweet. And what it does is it really shores up your investment as an audience in this relationship of the three of them as a family unit, which makes it so much more heartbreaking in the end when Sweeney is willing to kill Toby. And actually, even Mrs. Lovett is willing to go along with it. Possibly, you don't really know for sure if she is, but she seems potentially willing to. And then the final spoiler alert of Toby killing Sweeney, you know, I mean, it's Oedipus. And it's so moving in a way that the show has never been. I'm not saying the show's never moving. Obviously, the show has been very moving and been much better than this movie, which at best is still a B+. But it's not the F that people give it. And it's a very moving element that was brought to the movie that had never been in it before. And after all, don't we want our favorite musicals to become movies? Sometimes they're not going to be done perfectly. And don't we want them to be tackled by brilliant filmmaker artists like Tim Burton, who have the potential to make it work for a whole new audience in a whole new way? Otherwise, let's just get a camera crew in and do a pro shot of the Broadway production, you know? Because as we saw with Susan Stroman's film of The Producers, what worked on Broadway can't just be opened up for the screen. It has to be reinvented. So I love the movie of Sweeney Todd, warts and all. And that's why movies were movies.
Movies are movies. Well, I need to rewatch because the only time I've seen it was opening day at the movie theater. It was like maybe Christmas when it came out. And I remember not loving it just because, you know, the leads, I didn't think they could sing well and sing those songs well, but I need to revisit it because I do love Tim Burton. I think my biggest beef with Helena is that I love her so much, you know, in like Harry Potter as Bellatrix. She like makes all these like crazy wild choices. And I'm like, why didn't you do that for Mrs. Lovett or Madame Thénardier? It's like, I know she has like the character-y quirkiness that I want, but like making these like understated choices for these roles, just, I'm like, I know you're capable of more because I've seen more from you.
Have you seen her on The Crown though?
No, I do not watch that.
Her performance as Princess Margaret is one of my favorite performances I've ever seen, ever. I mean, and I love that show anyway, but I would watch, you know, the Hitler and Friends variety show if she'd be reprising her Margaret.
Well, okay, so we have to wrap this up really quickly, but we have a few more minutes left. So we have a time for a few Dolly Concert Kill submissions.
I have one for you.
Okay, go.
Toni Collette, Helena Bonham Carter, and who was the third person? Bernadette Peters.
Oh God. I guess I want to see Toni as Dolly just because I think she's such a good actress and I would like to see her interpretation of the role. Bernadette, I would much rather see Bernadette in concert because I would want it to be I guess like the Sondheim, etc. Bernadette. Because I don't think I've ever seen her. I mean, I've seen her perform like at various like tributes and like concerts where she sings like one song, but I've never seen her perform just her. So I would love to see that. And then I'm sorry, but kill Helena Bonham Carter, which I think is a drag name of someone somewhere. Okay, this is a good one thank you, Mucho Music, Dan Fortune, the Brendas.
This is for you. Oh no, you just went. I guess it's for me. Brenda Braxton, love her.
Yeah.
Brenda Braxton, love her. Brenda Vaccaro, don't hate her. Okay. I do think, though, I'm sorry, Brenda Blethyn. It's funny, Brenda Blethyn is probably my favorite of these performers out of context. But for this assignment, I would like to see Brenda Vaccaro as Dolly Levi. And she could do it in the original keys. And, I would like to see Brenda Braxton in concert because that is a voice. And Brenda Blethyn can go up to that great big Mike Lee film set in the sky.
Totally. Oh my God, Brenda Vaccaro as Dolly would be so fun.
Yeah.
Susan St. James, Lily Tomlin, Ali McGraw. Well, I don't know who Susan St. James is, so I'm gonna have to.
Susan James starred opposite Jane Curtin on that early '80s sitcom Kate and Allie as two single moms who lived together in a brownstone in Manhattan.
Okay, still doesn't help me. Lily Tomlin, though, I would love to see Lily's Dolly Levi. I mean, just like
hell yes,
it's so funny. And I would love to see. Actually, I would love to see also Lily as Mame and Jane Fonda as Vera, but that's another story. Ali McGraw, I guess, in concert. I do. She's a very pretty girl. Kill Susan St. James.
Yeah, for me. Thank you, Marina. Oh wait, Marina is my friend on YouTube and stuff. Okay. Meryl Streep, Shirley MacLaine, Gwen Verdon. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I guess, I mean, in a way, I want to say Gwen as Dolly, just because how could I pass up the chance to see Gwen Verdon in a Broadway musical comedy? But it's not really a great role for her, and Shirley would be better. And then I can see Gwen in concert in Broadway Theater doing the one-woman show that could be basically Broadway. We'll call it Gwen Verdon's Broadway.
Yeah.
Meryl, and I'm always Meryl's defender in these things because I don't believe too much of a good thing can be bad. But I will, as many people have requested in the past, kill Meryl Streep.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we're out of time, but thank you guys for tuning in to our program, as Joanna Lumley would say. I'm going to play us out with a little P and a little B, and tune in next week. Mwah.
Autumn, winter, next year. Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.